Good morning, good Thursday morning. I don't know if it's late or if it's early. By your standards, it is 1:59, basically 2. And I'm not driving, I'm in park. So I wanted to get this story out because it's about that courage to start over and that courage to, as some people say, push through, and that courage to reinvent yourself. So I was doing a delivery. It's one of the last gigs I was doing on Wednesday, of the many gigs that I do. So this was at a pharmacy that happens to be a 24-hour pharmacy, and it's in Florida, on Florida's East Coast. Just wanted to share how thought-provoking, how inspiring it was to me, and how much it resonates with what I've done in my life and what I guarantee will do with my life. So I know this video will reach somebody because this is an Instagram live that will go to Facebook, which will go to YouTube, and hopefully Twitter if I get the link to go properly. So I got as much lighting as I could, but I'm talking to this pharmacist. Some people are approachable, some people you can make conversation with. This gentleman, humorous, funny guy, he was dealing with somebody at the drive-up window, but I was in person in the store. And it's 2020, mask on, But as part of a gig that I do, I have clearance to do so with a couple platforms. But talking to the guy, I say, "Hey, where you from?" He said, "Guess." I say, "Massachusetts." He said, "No, I've been through Massachusetts though." So I try to guess again. I say, "Illinois?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm from New Jersey." I said, "New Jersey, okay, that's good." He said, "Where you from?" I said, "I'm from Fort Pierce." And I said, "Where you go to school?" Just lighthearted question. Brother told me he went to Rutgers. He went to Rutgers for engineering. And through dating several girls that were pharmacists, you just gotta be clear about the topic. It's what led to where he is today, because I can relate, because being the guy that basically in some terms doesn't measure up, and how I process and handle it, I had to learn to take the L's and to keep moving on, because I had underlying factors in my own home life and social life and what I wanted to do, and dues that I already paid through being a student athlete. You just have I think the word candor would fit. You have the bounce back. You reinvent yourself. You're not trying to really prove it to anybody, but then again, maybe you are. You know what I'm saying? Because I have some people around me, maybe they don't take it too well. They're not really celebrating how far they come, even though they do. They care very much what others think. And they feel like, maybe if I go do it this way, they'll accept me. But the truth is, they may never accept you, but you should do it because you want the victory of it. So here's this gentleman. There's this young lady he was dating at the time. Mind you, he is in engineering. He works for a firm, making good money. Dating a young lady who was a pharmacist. Meeting the father. The father disapproves because he's measuring up. Father's a pharmacist. He works for a firm. The daughter's a pharmacist. The father is measuring, sizing the gentleman up about, you're not doing well enough. You don't do well enough, pretty much, as a gatekeeper, for offering the hand in marriage for the daughter. Just a sample example of how things go with people socially. First world issues here in America, United States. So the father's feeling like this young man doesn't measure up. And mind you, his firm's doing well. He didn't tell me the name of the firm. And he knows the firm the father works for, and pharmaceuticals. And just the laugh of it, this pharmacist is telling me how this firm's taking off, and he was referencing other companies out here. It's just that big. And it's no matter what you do, you can find success in it. And he and I were talking about just being able to, what some see as our job, and where this young man was when he was in college, growing up in New Jersey, going to Rutgers State College in New Jersey. I'm gonna turn my temperature down here because I'm getting warm. I get warm sometimes, guys, when I start talking. Comfortable, but hey, it's for life, you know. Challenging the gift of being a speaker, or approaching being a speaker. So he was either, parents were like, we don't see you that much. So best of my knowledge, he had 2 well parents during college, and I believe he said mom was a nurse, dad was a police officer. And they said, we don't see you enough. He said he was either working or he was in school, and he was making good money while he was in school. And I think there was a capacity that for people to expect you to worry about college when actually he was doing fine. But this man, he just had that drive and ambition. And I don't know if it's an alignment of birthdays that we had in common, didn't get that far. Some people believe in it that way. And I think sometimes, whether you call on that or not, sometimes maybe you do identify with people on that. I don't know if it was a birth order thing. Again, likewise. I don't know if he was a student athlete. It don't make you perfect, but it make you live for the resolve. As there was a commercial with Venus and Serena Williams before, one of the twins, about resolve. I think it might have been Nike or Gatorade, one of their endorsements. And just amazing. Here's that guy, a Farm D or a D Farm, and he's living in that capacity. But it's an example of, you don't have to bow down to what people say you can't do, and how they make fun of what you do for work and what you do for a living, because you know, not really that you're trying to gain their acceptance. You know that the next moves you have, people are either going to celebrate big for you, or they're going to be kind of maybe shamed or embarrassed that they mess with you like that. So just bringing that inspiration. And I want to shout out someone, and I want to reference it and intro it the right way, because it created a little joke between Hall of Famers on a podcast. Shout out Deion Sanders, because you know he was introduced that way by Tony Gonzalez on this podcast, someone I looked up to, you know, and it was all a humor. That's somebody that not every boy looked up to, but in the 1990s, me and my cousin Tony over in Fort Pierce, Florida, we looked up to Deion Sanders. Just a standout athlete, and it's the way the NFL works, but he really stood out. Hall of Fame, NFL 100. Shout out to him for completing a bachelor's degree and gaining a higher education job. Being a college football coach, you're in the education business. And I got that from Dr. Peter Roby at Northeastern University, one of the recent athletic directors when I was doing my master's degree work with Northeastern. So we're in the education business. So for people that don't quite understand sports administration, sports leadership, that's what it is. We're in the education business. Shout out to Deion Sanders. So much on the horizon right there with Jackson State University as a historically black college university, HBCU as a football program. And from what I heard when I was at Southern Miss, when Southern Miss was really in that top 25, and they were a BCS bowl disruptor, they would get themselves in really good bowls. And sometimes they would shake up the bowl picture because they were doing their job. What I heard in the water, what I heard in Mississippi is that Jackson State is one of those schools. They tend to get sometimes the best recruiting class in the state of Mississippi. So y'all be on the lookout for it. And I like what Coach Prime had to say. He said, you can address me as Coach Prime. He said, I'm looking for dogs, and I ain't hard to find. So y'all look that up on Instagram. It shows that, guys, don't stop living. Show up for your life, like Andy Enriquez says. Don't stop living. Keep living, my guys. Keep living, young ladies. You can do anything. Because they might be laughing at you now, guys. But you about to pop out and be a great entrepreneur. They might be laughing now, but you about to accomplish that rank in nursing. They may be laughing at you now, but before you know it, you're going to have a law degree and you're going to be a judge. I'm just telling you, there's somebody out there that move like that, that operate like that. I catch a giggle when I hear sometimes that street lingo, when people say how I used to move, you know, it kind of makes me laugh. I'm not laughing at them, but it's like I actually like that. No matter if a person is talking about you or if a person, that's just their flow of how they talk, that's how people need to think. Whether you announce what you're going to do or you share what you're going to do, or whether you keep quiet about it or you somewhere in the middle, know that there's life ahead of you. Use this matter. Develop yourself. Spirit, soul, and body. Soul particularly, like Dr. Leroy Thompson. It's in the soul, the mind, will, and emotions. We got to work on it. You got a whole life ahead of you. Like Dr. Avery Jackson. And especially like Dr. Caroline Leaf. Work on this thing. You can beat anything, guys. Work on this thing. Don't be in a hurry about it, but be purposeful. And like a lot of rap songs go, when they talking stealth, make your next move your best move. So I'm going to sign off now, guys. No matter how long it takes, like Eric Thomas, when he talks about 12 years to get a 4-year degree, he kept going. And he did the master's degree just to see if he could finish and start some on time. He worked on the PhD and he accomplished the PhD, but he started with a GED. Guys, I'm telling you, just keep moving, get around some good company, acquire some good company, associate with good people, and keep building and keep growing, and let stories like this inspire you if you feel me. Share it, guys. Share it with the world. I really mean it. Be blessed. Signing off.